What's happening, peeps? We are
Battle
back.
started.
We are back. And the commissioner's playing air on Supreme for the first time ever. So, I want to get this lab built ASAP, son. Now, what I've done, I've asked my eco colleague to give me a tier 1 con. So, I have no doubt whatsoever that he or she, I'm just going to say he, will be doing that. No problemos. I have given him some metal to pay for such things, right? Got my lab up, gonna get my mexes up, so I want to get the metal coming in, and then it's gonna be energy, energy, energy. That's gonna be the name of the game, son. So I've not actually played the air position in Supreme before, and in one of my more recent videos, you would have seen a fantastic air player on how they played. Unfortunately, before playing this game, I didn't actually see his base when I was playing that game. So it's not going to be like a replica of what that person did. This is me kind of just playing, and as a noob, seeing how I get on. So this is going to be an opportunity for us to critique. Maybe if there's some good play, we could pick up on it and take him on into your plays as well, right? So what am I doing? Why did I build these two LLTs? Well, I'm really paranoid about early harassment, and I feel as though with these two LLTs, they're gonna guard my base fantastically. I can't imagine anything at this early stage of the game that's gonna be able to make it through these two. Right, that should be more than enough. Now I've started building some fighters because I can see my constructor is on his way. Look at this guy. What a happy guy. Huh? He's just prodding along. Look, he's coming over to his mate's house. Hey. Alright, mate. You alright? Nice. So what's he gonna do when he gets here? He's lined up to build my nano. So, nanos for units and eco. That's gonna be the name of the game. Now, what am I doing with my lab? So those of you who are interested, because I know, quite a few of my subscribers are also people who play bar and are in a similar, I would say, position as me, where they're still picking up the game when they're learning. And I like to think that another chunk of my subscriber base are much more experienced players than me, and are able to give advice to others. Like more recently, I've been getting some excellent advice in the comment section as well, right? Which not only would benefit me, but I think benefit bar players as a whole, right? So what I've done, hit the lab, move over here, hold on to shift, hit patrol, and make a pattern that you desire. I am doing this sort of perimeter. I do not want to be anywhere near the front line because yeah, just asking for trouble. A few anti-air units, they're gonna start fitting at your air wall. I don't want to do that. As a noob, my priority is getting the air wall up and protect this guy, Miyagi-san. Right, I need to protect Hot Pink because that's our eco player. But they should also protect at least a good chunk of the base or squads, our area, I should call it, right? What's up, Beijing? So what's up is our homie that's new to the game. We also have another. We got
Commander
Zagani
self-destructed.
as well. So yeah, we got two one chefs in our squad. We got two one chefs in our squad, but don't matter. It's a noob game, right? Everyone's learning, and you got to learn somewhere. Yeah, you got to learn somewhere. So cool. And these are tough positions to play. I'll be honest with you. Like playing C, I really don't like this as a noob. Like I know he wouldn't have had a choice. Like he would have been thrown into this position. In fact, me playing in air, I didn't even pick air. Like I wasn't paying attention, and then everybody picked their spots. So this was the only one going. It was the only vacant role available, which is cool. But I like it. It's giving me the chance to play in a role in Supreme that I would not have otherwise. So the reason why I don't like C starts for new players, it's very like C's difficult enough as it is, and unless you're somebody that enjoys naval, it's not great. You learn so much more of the game playing here in frontline, right? Whether it's on Supreme or any other map, really and truly. When you play frontline, you learn a lot. Yeah, it's frustrating sometimes, and you know you get your backside handed to you, but you learn so much. You learn so much. So where's Zgani? So if I am not mistaken, yep, they're playing Northern Sea. You know, I think this position is a bit more easier than the this southern section, to be honest with you, because at least you get your geothermal. Right? At least you get this. You could block this off with tier 1 walls if you don't really want to deal with any shenanigans coming from there. Yeah, and you can make a naval base from here, right? You got the Holy Brian. I thought that said Holy Brain. You got this guy going into hovers, which is interesting. Interesting play. Very good play. We've got a quilt. So what you see more and more of nowadays in Supreme is this position here, my favorite. Rather than starting in the traditional starting area, players are starting actually at the pond, so they can build tidal for the front line squad. I actually think this is quite good because tidal on Supreme is 21. It's better than building wind mills, right? Better than building windmills for the front line because the wind is erratic. This gives them, ongoing, consistent energy, and it's very hard for the opposition team to take that out with like quick raids or anything like that. So that's really, really good to see. Right, blue squad. So they don't have any 1 chefs. They do have 1 2 chef. And I suppose we do have Holy Brian and we do have Ark Alcates, which might balance it all out. I'd imagine that's how it's kind of working out, and with the OSs, right? Okay, not bad, not bad. I mean, yeah, look, they got 1 player on like 3 OS, so yeah, perhaps he has balanced out. Okay, HLTs, never the biggest fan, but against bots is going to be fine. Vehicles, nah, not so much. The moment I mean, if these guys push through and they focus fire on this, I suppose the second one is up, so that's not too bad. But they focus fire on this. This is out. Oh gosh, what's this? Oh, Decorian. This is some Legion. It's Legion. I mean, yeah. Look how quick they're melting it. See what I mean? Well, that's why I don't really like HLTs. It sounds cool when it shoots. In fact, let's just go back to this because this is brutal, mate. Let's tier 1. This is like a fight in a back alleyway, right? This is getting messy. Zero Kyung has to be extremely careful here because he's lacking energy, so he's probably not going to be able to get D guns off, right? And this tier 1 army of maces can take him out relatively quick. Jimmical, I feel like I played with him before. Name rings a bell. He's doing alright. Yeah, see, look, what's the point? It's really tempting to build these things. I just don't really like them. But I can't blame the homie for building it. Even this, like, I used to be a bit of a fan of these gauntlets and whatnot. So I used to feel like, wow, the range is incredible, right? And I mean, I don't know. It's like the metal is like 1,000, yeah, 1,000 metal, and a tier 2 lab. Right, let's have a look at a tier 2 lab. 2,900. Okay, it's about double, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like you're investing a lot into something, and yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like you get the damage output that you think you're gonna get with that unit. I know Brightworks in his video, he absolutely detests these things, right? And maybe this having an influence on me because when I watch his videos, right, and I see this artillery in other games, the more and more I see it as yeah, it's kind of useless. And in a few games where I've built it near the front lines, and it has cost me the lane, really and truly. So yeah, moving away from Gauntlet. Okay, what am I doing here? The homie was kind of, I did give him some metal, and I gave him more metal over time. So I gave him a little bit first, and then I just started sending him more and more and more. Yeah. So where I can, I will then start disseminating metal amongst the homies. Where if I can help them, I'm gonna help them. So what's that enabled me to do, right? Yeah, I'm getting my mexes up into tier 2. I'm making a regular fusion. Now, here's the thing, right? It's a bit of a joke in bar, but you see some, more experienced players telling other players, look, when you're playing air, don't get no bright ideas to start building an Aether straight away. And I fully concur. Just build a regular fusion. Yeah, just build a regular fusion, because I've seen it where air players get obsessed about building Aethers and they just don't bother building any figs, any fighters. They don't bother doing any of it. The Aethers takes top priority. Now I know that might trigger some people, because it's one of those things where, because air takes up so much energy, for you to really start making tier 2 air properly, an argument is, well, yeah, you do need an Aethers. I just feel like you can get your energy economy up super quick with just kind of building regular fusions, especially for air. Like the Aethers to me is if you're gonna have multiple tier 2 air labs, or if you're going to tier 3, you need an Aethers. It's gonna be extremely difficult to do that without an Aethers, proper tier 3. I'm talking about like, Titans, Behemoths, real heavy hitting tier 3. You cannot do it without serious Aethers play. Aggressive, please, go. That is good advice. Now this I like, because one of the things you really do want to do as newbies, where you've got your more experienced players, right? If they're giving you advice like this, do listen, because they've clearly spotted something in the play. They spotted something in the map. They feel as though there's a good reason for you to push and be aggressive, right? So do it, and look at this value. I really do like the way the thugs look. Hairline sorted out. Got a new fresh trim. All right, lab goes down. Yedo, he's in trouble. He doesn't really know what to do. Like, he's got a lot of energy. He's not thinking about D-gunning. He's not cloaking. You've got to cloak, brother. You must cloak. You must cloak. I mean, he's played the game long enough to have counties high. Alright, maybe he didn't care about the cloak. I think that's really risky, because he was kind of static there for a long time. But who am I? Like the Jackie Chan film. He's chucked over some reinforcements. Right, these Mausers doing really good work. Really good work. But and look at this, right? You might feel like, but he's lost. He's lost his army. Look at the gains. Yodo's labs are out. He's gonna have to start from scratch. Like, he would have started here in this position. Original lab gone. These 2 labs gone. Another lab gone. And now he's relying on his squad mates to bail him out. Which they should, because they're his squad mates. They're his homies. They gotta do that. But it means he's gonna be in difficulty. Excellent advice. Take that max. That's a 4.3. You really do want to get that and take it, right? Stompa. This is good. I'm guessing he's probably going to be repairing and things like that as he's going around. Okay. HLT up in here. I don't know, man. Like, you're above like the 12-minute mark, and that's usually when the game transitions into tier 2 properly, right? And if you look here, you've got this killer. Oof. That's a deep dish, because he was doing really well. Stomper was doing really well, but yeah, that's the draw of the game sometimes, right? You win some, you dim some. Okay, what's up, Beijing? He hasn't. So this is interesting. So he hasn't even stepped foot into the water. Don't want to be hypercritical, because he's very new to the game. One Chev, right? I am going to be critical of this dude though. What's he playing at? This is disgraceful. He's not even tried to move any scout boats or dolphins or nothing, just to even see what's around. You know, in fact, what can he actually see? Did the air player try to do any scouting? No, he can't. Okay, this squad, they don't know anything what's around here. Now, I've got to take this criticism on the chin because I didn't scout neither, so I don't even know what the enemy team has. Yeah, I have no idea what they have, but we can see a little bit more than the enemy. Oh, look at this! Tier 1 gunships coming in. These are usually really rubbish, but against naval, they don't seem too bad. They don't seem too bad. Right, if we zoom out and have a look at my air wall, not looking too bad. Not looking too bad. It's healthy. I don't think too many people are going to get through that. Let's have a look at their air player. I think his base looks better than mine. I gotta be honest. I feel like his base looks a lot better than mine. Blue. Wow. This is interesting. Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, he's playing naval, right? I mean, he's clearly making ships and everything like that. It's weird. Why couldn't I play against a guy like him in my Supreme Sea video? I could have gotten some success. I mean, look at my base in comparison to the enemy opposition, man. I feel like his base looks nicer, but which one is more functional? I've got my mechs is up. I've got 2 fusions. I'm getting tier 2 energy converters. That's going to give me 10 metal a second. My tier 2 lab is coming up, and I'm not meta stalling at all. He's in tier 1. He's got a metal storage. I don't know what that's really doing for him. He's getting a regular fusion up now. He went super into wind. I like a windmill, but I wanted stable energy. That's why I went into these. And my whole plan was, I want to get into fusion reactors quickly. You would have noticed that, look, where are my windmills? Hardly any. But windmills are really good in Supreme. So don't take this as a oh, don't build windmills. No. This is just what I was doing, right? So like I said, this is an opportunity for everyone to critique. Did it work? Did it not work well? You know, there's definitely room for improvement here. I know that for a fact. But my whole thinking behind this was get a stable energy so I can get figs out, because I'm always paranoid about letting the squad down, not having a sufficient air wall, right? What's going on here? Huh? Oh my lord. Good lord. And this is good lord because this thing has anti-air. This thing is a menace. My god, it's hilarious. It's literally a turtle, right? It's literally a turtle, but look how much damage it can do. You'd think it'd be slow, like these pawns. The pawns are like struggling. Why can they not run and gun? It's nearly dead, but it's doing super well. It's doing super well. It is what it is. Come on, guys, kill it at least, please. It's at 3%, 2%. It's getting way too much value. Oh, miss. Done. I'd res that thing and keep it as a trophy. Yeah, coming back to this. Yeah, I just wanted to get these. Forget even advanced solars for now, because I just wanted to get into fusion. And I felt with the way my economy was going, I felt like I could, and I'm doing well. My metal is superb, right? And honestly, that's down to these. They're doing really good for me, right? They're producing, you know, a ton of 40 a second from these guys alone when they're fully working. Now, what am I doing with my tier 2 lab? Commissioner, where's your figs? Where's your fighters? Fighters. No, I want to try a bombing run. So what I've done is I made 1 sonar plane. I've got about 20, I think. Yeah, I think it's about 20 bombers, 20 fighters to escort the bombers, and I want to go on a bombing run. I think my problem here is that I really should have just made a ton of maybe even tier 1 scout units and sent them first. So we'll see how this goes. I'm getting my anti-nuke up. I feel like it's really late, coming up to 20 minutes. If we look at the rest of the squad, no one's got anti-nuke. Of course, I don't know what the enemy's doing, but our squad, no one's got anti-nuke coming up. Okay, now we do. Cool, wicked. At least we got some coverage at the front. This is a beautiful position for the anti-nuke. Actually, he's covering himself and his homie. Wow, look at these shoulders. So I've pinged the brethren, the homie, because this is our eco player. You don't want this person to be caught lacking with that anti-nuke, because all of this, all this good work, this incredible work is going to be gone out of there. So he's probably not clocked my message yet, and he's probably, he's got a man. He's got to make it. He's got to make it. He's got to make it. Yes. Beautiful, spot on. In fact, even anti-intrusion device as well. Look how quickly that came out. This is the thing about playing eco, right? You could do this mad amounts of nanos, right? And you just build things super quick. Right? Sweet. Yeah, he's got loads of tier 1 converters as well. Alright, now blue's coming in. I suppose Ark felt as though he's got to go C, because we needed some sort of naval presence, perhaps. But I think that the waters are done for. Advanced vehicle plant looks really cool for Legion. Looks really cool. Right, my bombers are done. My tier 2 fighters are coming up. Nearly there. These Sheldons are massive value. The bread and butter composition of a ball with jammers and a radar. That's going to do excellent. In fact, what are they seeing? They can see a lot. Beautiful. We must have an advance. Oh, no, it's just literally from the box. The radar lines are moving. Blue's doing well to keep them occupied. These ships are going to do super well. But they're tier 1, so they haven't got the inland range required to really hurt. Okay, nice. This is good. This is how to get nice. This is how to get them off your property. There you have it. Sharpshoot them. Beautiful play. Shout out to Stomper. Okay. How are we looking? The production is complete. So, you probably see, yep, my tier 2s are coming here. So, guys, this is the thing that I really want to get better on, right? So I'm taking this from a comment from one of the subscribers. And dude, if you're watching this, please tell me if I'm doing this right. So look, I've lined up my fighters here. Okay. And oh, the bombers. My bombers are coming in. So where have I put these guys? So they're coming behind the fighters. Okay, you know, maybe not perfectly lined up. Ah, he saw. That's probably what. Okay. So yeah, this is what I've done. So bombers are behind the fighters. I've ended up selecting all of them. Control, and I'm moving them forward. I didn't hit, you know, attack on anything per se. But I feel like it all went wrong. Like, look how much anti-air. Right, look how much anti-air, and I saw like air lab as well, and I was like, ah, man, you know, do they have like 2 air players? Because of course there's a traditional air spot, They all got taken down. You know, the traditional air spot is up here. So when I saw this, I was like, oh nah, they've got 2 people going here. This is bad news. Trying to get some value. I mean, this was probably the worst bombing run you've ever seen in Beyond All Reason. Probably the worst. So yeah, I think not scouting early enough. I think, you know, those boats gave the game away for Blue. I mean, they gave the game away for me on behalf of Blue. It is what it is, man. What can you do? What can you do? So I've let the squad know that, look, they got double air, so it means that, look, if they come in for a real push, right, from the skies, we're in trouble, because it's just what I can build in terms of figs. So what am I doing now? I can't wait around and play games. I'm going into another lab. Why? I want these to be like a reassurance policy. So reassurance policy, but this was an experiment for me, right? So let me tell you my train of thought. You tell me if I'm crazy. I want these roughnecks to be my bombers. Commissioners lost the plot. I want them to be my bombers. What do I mean by this? Well, think about what is the purpose of the bombers, right? They're to go and typically to bomb the enemy's eco, build power labs, and snipe a commander if they can. So, irrespective of whether I'm using bombers or using something else to do any of those 3 things, hey, if it works, right? But that's if it works. That's if it works. And the purpose of this, these are going to be my tier 2 figs. So if you notice, moving them here, and I'm going to be doing a similar perimeter that you see me do for my my tier 1 lab. Oh, my friend, this is painful. It's painful, but it's beyond all reason. This is what happens. This is how the cookie crumbles, my friend. At times you are the hammer hitting the nail, and at other times you are the nail. You could tell Red is experienced because he's got his army of grunts to try and hold this off as much as he can. This thing is getting some great value. I think that was it. You know, Red held that off beautifully. Yeah, he took a bit of damage. I mean, real damage here, but he held it. He held it. Hot pink. Now this, I can see why Miyagi-san is a little bit upset, because look, this is a full-on Titan. This is a killer. This is a killer. But I think Red's macro, I don't think he really clocked that it's there. Maybe now he is, because his cursor's, you know, in the area, right? So yeah, the thing with Titans and stuff like that, you don't really want them to become defensive units, because that's not the point. You just build a pulsar if you want that, right? You know, and the pulsar is fantastic. One of my favorite things to build. But a Titan is a destroyer. You know, you get a significant army around it. Communicate that to your colleagues, perhaps, because otherwise your comrade's thinking like, I've given this guy a Titan, yeah. You know, if he pushes that Titan with these units, with these Sheldons and these grunts, it's GG's pretty much for the front, you know, frontline players at the very least. At the very least. So it's I can see the frustration. Right, my gunships are coming in, because I see these guys making a beautiful push. Beautiful push. And I was like, I want a piece of that. I want a piece of that. So now the blue team are going to have to contend with this new dynamic. They've been fighting grand units, Sheldons and things like that. I clocked the commander.
Has died.
Sniped. If I can't throw a nuke in there, he's going to be my nuke. Done. Finished. Now, too late. Enemy figs are coming in too late. Who cares? I sniped your comm. The com took out the gunships. I was expecting them to die. They're my bombing. They're my bombers, right? And the great thing is, where he went out, he took down the tier 2 lab. That's nice. That's nice. See, look, they've got their own gunships. They've got their own roughnecks there as well. So perhaps that inspiration, that play from me, is going to inspire them. Now, I've got some things going in because I just really want to take out the gunships. That's really it is. I'm not worried about the fighters. The thing that I really like, Miyagi-san, he's right about this, man. You got a Titan right there. You know, you got to use that. You got to use that. The thing with Miyagi-san, right? He started building fighters as well. So shout out to him, because he that means he's paid attention to me signaling that they had 2 air. He doesn't want to micro these, and I totally understand that. And so what he's doing, he builds up a critical mass of these things, and he hands them over to me, which I like. I prefer that. I know some bar players hate stuff like that. I don't, but I like that. You know, he's giving me more units for me to do my job effectively. Mike, there's me criticizing that my man's gone in deep into it. Perhaps that's the critical mass needed to to really do some damage with gauntlets. Their fighters are coming in. Because we've got a draw. Oh, wow, good play, Alacatis, or Ark. I'm just gonna call you Ark, bro. Great play. This is like siege unit from hell. You get these guys up close and personal, right? They just keep pumping out drones.
Commander has died.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. So you guys might notice something, yeah? We don't have anti-nuke coverage here. Marauders are coming in. This is a tough cookie, man. So we got beats from these guys before. Didn't really swap out. So I've thrown in gunships. Now I'm in a position where I feel like I can at least back up the homie. I can back him up. I can actually back him up. Jimmy! Or Jimmicle, come on, mate. You're not dead. You're fine. You're perfectly fine. Look, think about it, yeah? And guys, take this as a lesson. You got a fusion reactor still there. You got advanced mechs is still here. You got a tier 2 lab already functional. You got build power. You got a tier 1 lab. You got build power. You're not dead. The corpse is right here. If you're really concerned about, you know, having a commander, you can resurrect it. Or in my view, at this point, right, eat it up, take the metal, make some more economy with that if you want. You're certainly not out of the game. I'm just pumping some metal out to the homies, man, because the thing with frontline, you know, these guys gotta just keep pumping out units, and I want to help him with his metal if I can. More units they can make, the better. Right, Miyagi-san, this is good instruction. You don't necessarily want to fight, you know, Razorback, especially you've conquered this section anyway. This is lighter, so you get much more value. Still defensive, you know. This is I don't want to be too critical of Holy Brian, because he has been playing well, but I would say the only real impactful area to improve is this is an endgame unit. Send him in. Oh my god. No anti-nuke. That's a he's going to be really disappointed with himself about that, because he would know from his experience, yeah, that's a schoolboy error. Because look, you're 30 minutes, half of an hour into the game, no anti-nuke, right? You can't, and you know by now, I know some of you might think, well, why didn't his comrade, you know, build him an anti-nuke? The thing with what you got to realize is, don't rely on your teammates to build your anti-nukes for you. You can't. You can't, right? In fact, I built an anti-nuke for this guy because I know he's one Chev. He ain't gonna know, and yeah, I did actually send that same tier 2 con aircraft over here to build an anti-nuke here, but it was too little too late. Too little too late. Titan finally moving in. I would have preferred, okay, actually this is good. Keep away from this thing because a Jug can take out a Titan. That's no problem at all. No problem at all. This, if we can get him to collapse upon himself over here, that'd be great. Yo, air. Our air player, Zagani, excellent. This guy can't be one Chev, just one Chev. I mean, he's look how great he's doing. Really good. So they're sending in a whole bunch of roughnecks to take down the Titan. I think that's spot on. That's exactly what you want to see. I would have loved for the homie to have pinged me, asking for air support. That would have been really cool. Because look, I've got a whole bunch of fighters here lined up as well, and that's from Miyagi-san. See, look, Miyagi-san, he's giving me more. Boys, ping, guys, ping, because you're not always gonna, you know, you gotta let your squad mates know that you need help. So if they ping and you know highlighted, I would have saw. Oh my God, look, you know the homies are getting overrun by these roughnecks, right? I'm gonna go and take them out. Interesting. So the contrast. I mean, blue team, they had a Jug and they're like, I ain't waiting around with that Jug. I'm gonna send it in and get it to decimate the front line. And he did an excellent job. Because when that thing goes, anything around it is out. Okay. Listen, night. What's up, Beijing? Yo, the one Chev homie. You know what? At least he got a Titan out. It wouldn't have been easy, but look, he's not on an APHIS economy, so that's work. Ooh, what's this, Commissioner? What's this? Yep, I want to help the homies out. I'm gonna help them out. So what I've done is, you know, my whole thing about APHISs. The whole like, I can't make proper tier 3 unit like the you know the real flagship type units like the Titans and the 4s. But Marauders I can. With my economy I can make Marauders. That's not a problem. My Marauders are going into the water. My gunships, look at the plan of attack. I don't want to go face blue again because in my head he's got an air force. I don't want to deal with that. I can see my comrade has taken the waters. He owns it. This is safe for me. If I go in there, this is my bombing run. These are my bombers, my 26 bombers. That's my bombing run. It is what it is. Okay. They're gonna be able to deal with this Titan. I think that, you know, they've got enough. They've got they've got enough going on. But as long as they're distracted, look, even their top player, he's worried about the Titan. He's worried about the Titan. He's not worried about me. They've got torpedo bombers. Cool. Marauders are going in. Hopefully, I get enough of them piled up to make a good amount of difference. Now, if we look here, it's happening. Look at his bodies, mate. Bodies. So these guys are sneaking in. No one has blocked them yet. No one's pinging from the blue team yet. This is where it went a little bit wrong. So now they're kind of seeing it, and because they're on fire at will, they look. They've gone to try. I don't want a regular fusion though. That's not what I'm after. Quick kill, which is nice. Com was the better target. Com's dead. With help from the homies as well. Another commander's dead. Fusion Aphis is all I'm after. That's all I want. That's all I want. Send your fighters in to kill me. That's fine. Don't care. That's my bombing run. That's my bombing run. At least I helped with one commander death. I took down their air player. Gone. Finished. I'm happy. Now that I've done that and I've satisfied my hunger, I've got figs here as well. I'm gonna make sure my naval player isn't gonna be in trouble. Look at Miyagi-san. He wanted to help. See, this is what I like. This is good team play. He's sending in the figs as well, because he saw, okay, oof, the nuke in the front. Damn. I wonder what happened to a chunk of my my figs there. Now I'm sending in figs. We should own the skies now. With that going on, I only got 9. I think I'm gonna establish a few more. But this is good. There's no way air can come back. That's game over. Hey look, they're holding their resolve. They got loads of anti-NL. Wow, these shredders. I mean, clearly we frightened them with what we did there. Titans going in. Miyagi-san, he's not holding back. There's not too much of an answer that Blue has for this. These are moving in for the kill. Yeah, the only thing they have are these Shivas. Oh, the Behemoth's a problem. Behemoth's a problem. I've got a couple of gunships. I think just from the attack command they were there. But yeah, these are doing alright. If you notice, what's this? Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren's Universal Soldiers coming in for the swim. Blue hasn't clocked. Ooh, torpedo launchers. Okay, so some will die. Some marauders will die. I mean, he's got an Epoch flagship out. That's really good for him. That's not going to win him the battle. I mean, alright, you're going to win the sea. Cool, nice. But he's doing enough damage to my my marauders though. Now they're coming in. They should meet up with Miyagi's Titan. So although they're going to be battered and bruised, it's bigger homie is there. It's bigger homie is there, and this is going to super annoy. Ah, that's where he is. He doesn't even want to disclose his location and get degunned. I think if the Titans weren't there, he would have degunned my my units. Oh, he's coming in for the degun. Pop, pop, pop. Nice. That's a superb double kill. Marauders are still going in. This wind farm must die. Why isn't it shooting? Come on, mate. Things are just going pop. That tier 3 lab is redundant. It's a relic of a time long gone. This nuke, that had to be the one that caused all that misery. See, look, this is interesting. So he's in the bubble shield shooting, and it's being deflected. Is that right, guys? Is that how the game's meant to? Is that the dynamics of the bubble shield? Even if you're inside the bubble shield, plasma rounds get deflected. I honestly felt it was, you know, if you outside shooting onto the shield, it's a deflection. Either that's a bug or it's a feature. More experienced players, those that know, please let me know. I've got some more roughnecks. They're just moving in. The idea here was just to back up the Titans, really. I've still got more Marauders going. Again, if you look at my lab, it's not, I mean, my base, it's not anything fantastic, is it? I mean, it's quite abysmal. Oh Lord, look at this guy, man. But look look how and guys, I mean, for those of you getting into the game, vote past, they're dead. But those of you getting into Beyond All Reason, right? I want you to just look at my, pretty much pathetic looking base, and just realize that you don't have to be like super crazy eco or anything like that to still play an effective part in your team winning. Look, destroying enemy resources in production, Miyagi 100%. Yeah, got that. But look, I came closer, and that's without having a proper bombing run. I did my improvised one. Wow, Miyagi's like flipping head and shoulders above anybody, even the enemy team, like the enemy eco ain't really come close, to be fair. Yeah, in fact, let's have a look at my shoddy base again. Look, okay, five, sixth one was being revealed, regular fusions. Yeah, a few 812. Yeah, two advanced labs, one tier 1 lab, a experimental gantry as well, and I was starting to build lynch bombers because I didn't like the fact that I saw Behemoth. Yeah, can be done, can be done. Right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I loved playing this game. It was really enjoyable. Shout out to the team, shout out to the enemy team for keeping the resolve, and yeah, bye. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.